back, everyone. I hope you all had a refreshing break. I am Tulsi Agarwal, Assistant Professor at Ishan Institute of Management and Technology. We are now moving to the next session of our Faculty Development Program, and it gives me great delight to introduce you to an eminent scholar and academic leader in the field of Commerce and Management Education, Professor Ajeya Gupta. Professor Ajeya Gupta has studied at some of the most prestigious institutions in the country, including Gorakhpur University, Delhi University, IIT Kanpur, and IIM Ahmedabad. Recently, he completed his master's in fintech with specialization in AI and blockchain technology from IIT Kanpur. Over the course of his illustrious career, Professor Gupta has published more than 60 research papers, supervised 21 PhDs, and authored 3 books. He has held several pivotal positions in university administration and successfully completed critical academic assignments, including serving as the state coordinator for state level pre medical entrance examinations. He has undertaken major UGC research projects and consultancy assignments for the Government of India, including the Ministry of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises. He has also been associated with NAC Bangalore for over 15 years as a member of the Collegium, accrediting more than 112 academic institutions across the country as peer team chairman and coordinator. What makes his journey even more inspiring is his vision to blend management and financial decision making with artificial intelligence and blockchain technology, positioning him as a pioneer in linking traditional education with emerging technologies. Today, he will be sharing his insights on a very contemporary and significant theme, integrating AI in management research methods. So, without further delay, let us warmly welcome Professor Ajeya Gupta to share his wisdom with us.
Thank you
Welcome,
for
sir.
thank you so much for introducing with so kind words. Uh, I am also thankful to the Ishan Institute of Management and Technology for providing me an opportunity to interact with such a huge number of participants over here. So let me start with my sharing of the screen. Just a minute. Stop here. Minute. Yes. Is it visible, please?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Mhm. Just a minute. Yes. Yeah. The higher education has three most significant goals: dissemination of knowledge, that we do by teaching in our classes. Creation of knowledge by creating new systematized body of knowledge through research, and refinement of knowledge. The existing research is further refined through the process of research. So, research is the most stringent part of academic deliberation. That's why it takes usually more than 3 years up to 7 years. So, for such a stringent job, rigorous job, we usually look for some shortcuts. And recently, AI seems to provide a shortcut like that. Usually, it is wrongly taken as a shortcut, and that should be avoided. That's why here this is my lecture. So it is possible only after understanding what AI really is and how it tackles different activities in its own way. So before that, we shall throw a brief light on research itself. Okay. What is research, particularly in social science and management? In fact, this is a systematic way of exploring the idea or the problem undertaken in some scientific way that could convince the people about the outcome. So, the social sciences and particularly the management research focuses on exploring, understanding, and explaining phenomenon related to human society, relationships, and organizational practices. So, in order to further understand a research process in higher education, we can focus on the key characteristics. That is, it is always a systematic and rigorous structured process. It is usually based on some empirical exploration, that is, through the timeline and with the help of survey, interview, experiments, and archival records. It's always based on theoretical foundation. Some theories already in existence provide a clue how to explore it further in such a manner that it could test the given hypothesis for a new outcome. It is always problem oriented. So first and foremost, we ascertain the research problem that is to be explored. And this is all to be done under the umbrella of ethical considerations. There are always some standards to be followed, like we have to avoid plagiarism. We have not to take credit for the sentences or writings or even outcomes attained by somebody else. So, in order to understand the research process, these key characteristics help us further. Then it always follows some research methodology. It may be quantitative, it may be qualitative. So quantitative research always focus on some deals with some numerical data and statistical analysis. There are always some objective, and objective are to quantify relationships, test hypotheses, and generalize findings to larger population. There are applied some specific methods meant for quantitative research. For example, studying the impact of new management training program on employee productivity. So another type of the research is qualitative research, the focus of which is exploration in depth, understanding of some phenomena perceptions, and experience. There are objectives like to gain rich, nuanced insights into complex social or racial context. There are certain methods, and as to example, we can say understanding employee motivation in a startup by conducting in-depth interviews. So, for qualitative research, there are some very specific research methodology to keep in mind relating to structured interviews, structured some observations and surveys. So also we talk with the people in a large number with certain qualitative questions and open in open question platforms. So there are also when we combine both the methods, usually we have to adopt more than one method, and then it becomes a mixed method research. So focus of mixed method research is combining both quantitative and qualitative approaches. Now, AI's assistance in research process. Why do we look for an external assistance? In fact, in any research process, the research scholar on the one hand and on the other is his guide or supervisor. In addition to that, the help of libraries, several consortiums, InflibNet, Enlist, and so many publications, websites, libraries are taken into account that assist the research process. But nowadays, there is a new buzzword called AI. I am quite sure you have got well introduced in the previous session regarding how wonderful an AI is. So this AI has shown a new hope, rather ray of hope for those who want or who are in look for some shortcuts. And that is creating the problem. You have already heard about so many international institutions of repute who have banned the use of AI in the research processes. There are also several higher educational institutions which are promoting the use of AI in the research processes. So they who are banning it after the fear of a huge amount of copy and paste and not following the ethical standards of the research processes, they have a lot of arguments in the favor of their proposition. On the other hand, they who want to encourage the use of AI in the research processes have also some very strong, unrefutable arguments in favor of why it should be let used. So, first and foremost, we shall go into this discussion, and in order to enter into that discussion, we have to take a glimpse about use of, or rather increasing use of AI in the workplace, and therefore increasing adoption of AI in several other academic processes, including the social science and management research. So in the last 5 years, we have seen use, rather better to say in the last 3 years, after in the November 2022, OpenAI, the company OpenAI, brought in a generative AI bot, that is ChatGPT, and then followed the suit with so many other AI chatbots like Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, and so many others. When the attraction towards use of AI in the workplace increased. So, as you are seeing here in this pie diagram, personal preference 14.3%, who on their own got inclined towards using the AI platform. And employer themselves not only thought in favor, but also mandated 44.9% of the organizations, and combination of policy and preferences 40.8%. So the use expenditure towards increasing favor of AI platform, as this chart shows, has gone to a huge number in 2024. Almost $4 billion was spent by global firms on AI in accountancy related earnings alone. McKinsey believes this would rise to $10 billion by the end of 2025. So AI has already got a strong footing in the workplace, in the higher education, and in every other place, including our day-to-day life. So why is it so? It is because AI offers a competitive edge in management, research, and our day-to-day activity. Artificial intelligence can analyze huge amount of data. It can recognize very minute patterns, and on the basis of these two, it can make decisions with minimal human intervention. So AI technologies are not just enhancing efficiency, they are completely redefining what is possible in research, what is possible in workplace, and what is possible in the uh, various profession, including teaching and research. So there are several concepts relating to this uh, AI. In fact, AI, there is a difference between the terms algorithm, program, AI, and automation. You see, somebody can get confused with automation about AI. In fact, AI is a capability to learn, to solve the problem, to find a pattern, and to make decisions even. In fact, program is just a set of commands that guides the computer to execute some particular activity. And algorithm is set of those programs that wants to achieve some concrete goals, some concrete outcomes. So programs are just a small cog in the whole wheel of algorithm, and there are several other terms like automation which may be supervised, unsupervised, and all these algorithm, program, automation, they can only achieve the jobs that has been pre-designed by the mean of instruction in machine language. But what differentiates AI from all these is the just like behavior like human that can do. A human can learn anything from whatsoever is happening around it or from the data that has been provided to it. The human can solve some specific problem. The human can do the reasoning, and the human can even take decisions if all the three that has been named before can be created in any machine. So all the intelligence things that a human does, if can be got done by the machine, it becomes artificial intelligence. So how the artificial intelligence is created? In fact, here also program is taken help of by the mean of algorithm and program. A machine is trained through various examples, pictures, and materials, and by learning through all these hundreds of millions of examples that is shown to a machine, they develop a capability to recognize some picture, to write something, and to even create videos and photographs. So this is just like human does. Human, on the basis of its experiences, its observation, whatsoever it comes across, is utilized by human intelligence to do something different from whatsoever has been gotten by himself. Similarly, a machine also can give an outcome that is absolutely different from the input provided. And that is through the cognitive capability that is developed by learning. A machine can learn. And when a machine learns in some specific manner, it provides something different from whatsoever has been provided to it. So artificial intelligence can be discriminate, whereby the artificial intelligence can only generate answers from whatsoever is available on the web, whatsoever is available in the internet, but it becomes generative AI when on the basis of its learning or the software or algorithm that has provoked itself to learn and adopt some new knowledge, some new information, and on the basis of this reasoning, this learning, it can start to solve the problem, and not only solve the problem, but also can make a decision. And therefore, artificial intelligence through the path of generative AI, NLP, natural language process, LLM, large language model, and so many other varieties of artificial intelligence can, in fact, help people to solve so many different kind of problem. Like generative AI, it can provide some audio, video, images, or software code in response to a user's prompt or request. Generative AI therefore refers to a category of AI model capable of producing novel, realistic, and coherent content across various modalities. So, core principle of generative AI model is it learns the probability distribution of the input data. Once this distribution is learned, they can sample from it to generate new data points that are consistent with the learned patterns. So this means they do not just recognize what something is, but can also imagine and create what something could be. So just I explained the interconnectivity between the hierarchy of various computer softwares that starts from algorithm, going to program, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Machine learning is primarily an approach within AI where systems learn from data. And there is a term, deep learning, that is a powerful subfield of machine learning utilizing multi-layered neural networks. Multi-layered neural networks are just like the neural capabilities in the human brain, whereby there are billions and billions of neurons help a human to learn and adopt various things, concepts, ideas in his day-to-day life. So now, what is AI in research? At its core, management research mainly take into account the machine learning process that allows system to improve through experience. And experience comes by the mean of different kind of data fed into it. Then natural language processing, NLP, it enables computers to understand and interpret human language. Hindi, English, Marathi, so many languages we use in our life, and a machine is trained in such a manner that they could also learn the intricacies of these languages, and therefore, in research, it can translate to automatically extract several things. It can extract information from invoices, contracts, and financial statements. Instead of manually reviewing documents, NLP can scan thousands of pages to find specific clauses or financial obligations. In fact, a major difference between machine and man is that machine never gets tired. It can process the information 100 and 1,000 times faster than human can, based upon the CPU and GPU capability it is built with. And there is a concept as a part of AI, deep learning. It takes machine learning into account in such a way that by using neural networks modeled after the human brain, the system can predict market trends or detect subtle fraud patterns across enormous data sets. Deep learning powers Deep learning powers the most sophisticated financial forecasting tools that can analyze hundreds of variables simultaneously. So, by now, we have understood that AI differs from conventional programming and automation. If to summarize, it differs in the terms of decision-making approach, adaptability, and even problem-solving method due to the differences in the above two. So it also differs in terms of how uncertainty is handled. Traditional programs typically require precise inputs and produce deterministic outputs. AI systems are designed to work with incomplete, noisy, or ambiguous data and provide probabilistic answers. Then it also differs from conventional methods of machines on the basis of learning capability. Conventional programs only change when developers modify their code. So it's absolutely dependent on the code provided by the developers. But the AI system is capable of improving its performance through training and sometimes continue learning from new experiences. So the complexity of task is much more, and the key distinction, therefore, is that conventional programming automates processes. At the most, it can automate the processes we can clearly define, while AI can attempt to replicate more fluid, intuitive types of intelligence that are harder to reduce to simple rules. So, why management research is a perfect AI candidate? In fact, the question is why we should adopt AI or we can adopt AI in the social science research and management research. In fact, management research falls in the category of humanities where humans are at the play. It is very much suitable for AI applications because there is a historical context, some pattern, some events are comprised there in a chronological manner that helps system to understand, to find a linkage. Data-rich environment is another characteristic of management processes, organizations, human as workers in these organizations, and therefore research departments process enormous volumes of structured numerical data that perfectly fuel for that perfectly encourage the use of AI systems. Thirdly, there is a rule-based process, means process is not at random. There are always some ingrained rules for the processes. Again, high value from accuracy is discerned. Even small improvements in forecasting accuracy or fraud detection can translate the significant financial benefits to the undertaker. So by automating routine tasks, we can save a lot of cost, and that is why most of the organizations are inclined towards automating its activities in such a manner that it could reduce the cost, increase the productivity, and even at the quality front, it could achieve various goals due to these two capabilities. So, how will generative AI integrate with research and cloud computing? So, generative AI, cloud computing, and so many other new methods of programming, new programming platforms, they are all creating new wonders for the performance, accuracy, and achieving the complex goals in the lesser and lesser time. That we shall discuss a little later. So, there are various benefits of using generative AI. That is why it is getting popular leap and bounds day and nights. For example, automation of routine tasks has saved a lot to the organizations. It has enhanced financial reporting processes and its accuracy. It has advanced predictive analytics, forecasting, and therefore the certainty in the form of decision making and the outcomes related to. There are real-time decision making processes which takes the least possible time and efforts, including minimizing the risk. There are fraud detection at there are fraud detection very fast, and therefore it can prevent frauds ahead of time. There are regulatory compliances. RegTech is a new term that is adopting technology for regulatory compliances so that it could reduce the fine and other losses on the part of organizations. There are personalized client advisory, cost reduction in several sense. Scalability is another big attraction for the application of generative AI in the management, in the organizations, and therefore the management research. So it is all paving the way for further benefits through continuous learning, fast results, and all these culminate into the wide acceptance of generative AI and other variants of AI to be embraced in the organization, and therefore it is also assisting the researcher in this field for finding a faster, better, and the capability to analyze big data online. So now let us come on to the research. So now we have seen why research is tending towards AI. In order to dive further into how AI integrates with the research to find a better result, to improvise the research process, and to get it adopted at different levels. In fact, any research is majorly comprised of these four components. It starts with the literature review and the synthesis of summaries from different research papers. Then it designs a research problem. And keeping in mind the research problem, the process of data collection is started. So data collection is very, very important. How important it is, we shall see a little later. Then comes data analysis and data interpretation. These all results into the final report that is called academic writing and reporting. So let us briefly see it. The literature review, in fact, the basic challenge is sifting through thousands of academic papers to identify relevant studies, key themes, and research gaps. That is the major challenge. So conventionally, what we used to do, although the advancement of technology just simplified the problem of getting access to the various research material. Earlier, 20 years back, we had no way but to visit to various libraries in the different corners of the country as well as the world. But with the arrival of the syndicates of publications through InflibNet, Enlist, and so many other cloud materials, this process of sifting through thousands of academic papers become easier. One could do it while sitting in home, while sitting in one library of their own university. But now it has further got simplified, how we shall see a little later. Then AI assistance, that is automated summarization. There are so many AI applications, like I just saw in the previous lecture, that the professor was explaining various such applications which could provide you the desired outcome within the blinks of your eyes. Canva, Notebook LM, and so many other software he named that could just made the process of reading so many pages, getting summary from that, or just getting any important information out of hundreds and thousands of pages and including websites. Like Notebook LM can not only be the PDF files, but it can also be video, it can also be websites, it can also be files from your cloud, and so many other types from different types of the files can be uploaded in one go, and any question you ask that will get culled from those documents you have already uploaded. It was not possible 20 years back when you used to go to different libraries. It was not possible even 5 years back when you had only access to different websites and materials spread hither and thither on the in the internet, and you had to at least read most of these documents, most of these pages, and then using your own cognitive capability to write a sentence or two. So AI has made all these processes 1,000 times easier than it used to be 5 years back. So there are intelligent paper discovery. Any application can, if you can give a prompt for looking for some topic, it can provide you basket of topics. So many topics you can choose from. Earlier, you had to go through hundreds and thousands of pages in order to find out what are the current issues, or in other words, you say, what are the research gap, therefore, what should be the research problem. Now, research problem is directly provided along with the topic by AI. So, making the process hundreds of hours job is done within a minute by the mean of AI. We shall see how and what kind of applications are there in the market that do such kind of job. So data collection is a very, very complicated job. Here also, the AI is capable of helping a researcher. Traditional challenge was designing effective survey questions, identifying suitable interview participants, or collecting large volumes of unstructured data. That was very, very challenging. Now AI assistance is possible. There are so many applications in the market. Most often they are free for limited kind of work, but even in the case you have a huge data to process and complicated questions to be repeated several times, you can pay a small amount of money either on day-to-day basis, month basis, or even annual, if you have huge tasks going on throughout the year as a researcher or as a professor. You can get suggested for the question phrasing, or reduce biases, or improve clarity based on best practices. All this is possible uh, on your fingertips within moments, but this all reduces the probability of learning. Like this is just like just when you go through a good book, or say you go to a cinema, what happens? In the 3 hours of cinema, you get lost into the whole story, uh, in the whole plot. You really enjoy each and every moment of the plot, of the story, of the acting, of the songs, everything, variety of things. So the real pleasure of enjoying the movie is seeing the movie for 3 hours. It is also possible that somebody provide you summary of the movie within few lines. Even you can instruct the AI to summarize the movie in 10 sentences, in 1000 words. And what I mean to say that it's absolutely up to you, your own capability, how much you can read. If you can't read 100 words, you can, more than 100 words, you can ask the AI to summarize the movie in 100 words. But just imagine the pleasure of seeing the movie as a whole for 3 hours, and on the other hand, getting the story. What will be preferred by you? It's up to your taste only. The same is true about a book also. This is the process of reading through the book that really provide you learning and the pleasure. At the same time, there are hundreds of AI platforms where you can get thousands of summaries of various books. So many people suggest that, like for example, some IS coaching professors say that instead of going through the book, you can save a lot of time by using the AI and read the summary only. So this is just an outlook. Same is the truth about the research methodology and research process. In fact, a professor says when you go through the hundreds and thousands of pages, you really go through the process of doing the research. And this is the process of going through, this is the process of the research that really strengthen your research capability. But today, there are so many other valid reasons also to save on time, to save on cost. Now, the fight is between where to draw the line, to what extent should AI be used, and to what extent the researcher should deep dive into the intricacies of the finding information, data, making an analysis, interpreting it. That we shall discuss a little later. So, in the realm of data analysis, traditional challenge was using different applications, even various statistical methods, formulas we use to find out the meaning behind the data, to read between the lines. Then came very powerful computer applications like SPSS, which could make your job much more simpler. And now there are AI which can even further simplify it with, now there is no pain of learning SPSS. One could get accuracy in using SPSS like software only after using it for a year or two. Now that is also not required. You can go through some AI application after having paid a little amount, and most often paying nothing, free of cost, and you can get your charts, tables, and everything, even interpretation ready-made, that you can just put with little modification in your research report. So, yes, the power of machine learning, the power of natural language processing, and the power of large language models has removed all the hurdles in the way to find ready-made materials. So, lastly, the fourth process is academic writing and reporting. This is the culmination of all the information collected, processed, and preparing the final report in the form of thesis. Here also, there are so many applications which can assist you in the form of drafting, outlining, paraphrasing, avoiding plagiarism, and so many other things like There are Grammarly-like application, Quillbot, and so many others that we shall see a little later. In how many ways can they help you in getting your job done in easiest process? So these are the 4 research areas where we have to perform various activities, and they all take away 5 to 6 years and to reach some final academic writing and report called thesis, which is submitted, and then after having defended it, yes, again, the question of defending your thesis. It is much easy to defend your thesis if you have prepared it from uh, every particle of it has been created by you. It will be easy to defend it, of course. But when you have taken a lot of assistance of the AI, you will find it difficult to defend your thesis when some untoward questions are raised that you had not expected. Although these AI also tell you what kind of questions can be asked, and they can not only tell you about the kind of question that we asked while defending your thesis, it can also provide you the ready-made answers. But where shall all these lead to if you are not satisfactorily able to defend your thesis before the audience? So what we have learned so far, just a minute. Yes. So what we have learned so far, we have seen what thesis, what management research is all about. What are the major ingredients which are to be covered, which are to be created, which are to be exercised by any researcher? What are the intricacies of the conventional research? And then we compared with the new facilities in the form of AI. And thus, there are so many questions, so many discussions about whether AI should be used, AI should not be used, AI, how to avoid the plagiarism, how to humanize the contents. Like there were questions in the previous session, I could overhear. In fact, after having understood the way AI helps, we can further categorize few things. What at all these 4 stages that we talked about, there are various applications in the market. There are very small amount like paper pal, only 5,000 per annum, and you can ask for topics. At the phase of literature review, you can, on the basis of topic, you can get the bunch of research papers. You can get summary of every research paper. You can get some specific suggestions, that is as per your prompt. You can check the grammar. You can paraphrase the sentences. Suppose Turnitin provides that your thesis has a similarity report of 20%. So anyhow, you have to get it reduced by half. You have to go below 10% in order to get your thesis accepted for submission. So the advice then is to paraphrase in such a manner that you could just remove the similarity. Again, after removing all those sentences, you find at the next check that the similarity is still 16% or 15%. Although you had changed all those colored sentences which were recognized as similarity by the Turnitin or any such software. And still, you find that your flag report or a similarity report has not got to below 10% level. Why is this? Because every other time you paraphrase, the sentences are brought from nowhere but the internet itself. And since most of the time humanizing your contents or any effort to humanize your contents is again taken help of the material from the internet, material from the published works, it is not capable of reducing your similarity from 20% to 10% at a single go. So, although we say that we can save a lot of time and energy by using AI applications, the fact remains in exploring these AI and then further fitting it into your research report in the given framework, it kills a lot of time. And if the time is eaten away without any good outcome or without any required outcome, in fact, it can be said to be harmful. Yes, there is one hand raised. Himanshu wants to ask something. Yes, Himanshu, what do you want to ask? Himanshu wants to ask anything? Okay. So, in the use of AI, we can get assisted at every level, all the four levels in different way. For example, if you take the fourth component, that is preparing the report or thesis, any para that you have written by your own, you can think that you want to provide some reference to it, or is there any similarity to the para that you have written on your own? And if you ask the AI application, it may bring forth few of the research papers which says almost the same thing. So of course you can refer those papers for supporting your that statement. So also humanizing, summarizing, refining the sentence, making it more, putting more words in it, expanding the paragraph, or making it narrower. All these things can be done at just blink of eye. So yes, it is providing a lot of benefits, but the consequence is that most often this is very human nature. We find when we find some convenience, we find some benefits in using computer or using some such shortcuts. What happens? We tend to adopt it more and more. And the consequence is we start to get dependent on instead of diving deep into the books and research papers. And here from starts the decay of cognitive ability, your interest in groping with the contents, and these all make you quite dependent on these AI applications. So there are both pros and cons of AI, but still you have your own opinion. I want to get the opinions from the participants. Naturally, there will be difference of the opinion, and the contents of your opinion will provide us some further clue to discuss with. Okay, anybody would like to speak on whether AI should be used? Of course, there is a very simple answer that there should be a good blend of use it as a tool and refine your research processes. This is not to be said. Just let us put it aside. You have either to speak against AI or in the favor of AI. So I want a few people to speak either in the favor or against AI. Yes, who will start with? Please come forward. Anybody? Okay. There is one Mr. Yes, just a minute. Yes, please ask question. Is it that everybody is muted? No, I think you can ask questions. Come forward. Can you please ask question directly? Please, organizer, tell me whether participants can ask questions directly here on their microphone.
Yes, sir, they can ask.
Yes, please. Let us interact face to face. There are some questions on what we have discussed by now. Raki Mandal, can you please help me with the questions? If they are not interested in coming forward and the question directly. Any question? Raki, is there any particular question?
Hi. Sir, there is one question from Himanshu Singh.
Yes,
He's saying as we are using AI day by day, it makes a person dependent on it till reviewing or reading matter.
what is the question?
I think, sir, there is no question. He's just writing the feedback. Sir, there are no.
So I just want some participants to share their experience, good or bad, about using AI in the research paper writing or in the research process they have undertaken. Yes, please come forward. Anybody?
Sir, there is one question
Yes.
from Dr. Sana Fakia. He's asking, research should be AI free. Then what is the use of AI?
Research should be AI free. You see, just as I told you that so many institutions have already banned it and so many are promoting it. AI is good as long as it is used as a tool. If use of AI is not hampering your capability, if use of AI is not compromising the quality of your research, if as long as AI is not misleading, it is quite prone to misleading or providing you wrong information. So yes, its use, if its use is judicious and it is not going to hamper your research acumen, it can rather hone your skill in the direction of upgrading your research capabilities. It is good. And it is always suggested to use AI for that only. But the problem is, how many of us can really justifiably stick to that instruction? This is the deviation that we get tempted to and therefore lose on the part of the research capabilities or research quality. That is why it is discouraged. So now the question is how to encourage the students in such a manner that they could use AI as to hone their research skill only. Any suggestion, please?
Sir, the next question is from Dr. Shalini Sinha. She's asking, what are the tools that help in literature review?
What are the tools?
that help in literature review?
There are so many applications. Just let us discuss, come on to that. You see, there are tens of AI applications available in the market which can be used for the literature review. The maximum number of applications which are available in the market regarding facilitating the research process is the tool that can create a literature review. In fact, literature review is a difficult process in the sense you have to first and foremost go to the Google Scholar. Although Google Scholar is also guided by AI nowadays, based upon your search, it helps you in so many ways in finding the right kind of paper for your review. So earlier also we started our literature review while going first and foremost to Google Scholar, where we used to find hundreds of paper, and while going through pages of those findings, we just zero down to 30-40 papers which used to be seem to be useful for us, and then those all 30-40 papers or 50-60 papers usually were undertaken for the thorough study, and after the thorough study of each and every, we had to summarize it, and then after summary we had to review it from the point of view of the research gap or the research problem that we are looking into. So now the AI, you just type the topic or any problem. Even you can start from like PaperPal and Jenny. They are very popular. These two are very popular, which can help you. Just you ask by providing some information or the research background, the study you have made, the area you want to explore, and it will provide plethora of topics that can be undertaken for the further research. And with the help of selected topic, you can ask for the worthy literature, and then the AI application will provide you the list of those research papers which contains the contents relating to the topic suggested. They will not only provide you the link of the research papers, they will also provide you the summary of each and every research paper. Even if you further any prompt is provided by you about any particular research paper or about any particular question on a particular research paper, it will also be answered by the application. So PaperPal and Jenny, they are very popular in this regard. You can ask, you can take a lot of help in the area of this literature review. Similarly, Julius, this application, AI application, help you to process your Excel sheet and other huge amount of data to interpret, to analyze, to provide the charts, to provide the figures, tables, and specifically if any calculation you want, it can provide you. Logically and sourcely, they provide you with so many other helps like the particular research papers, the how you can what kind of content you can take into your research. You can provide, even they can prepare some particular issues in your research, some contents can be written, and it is always better if what is suggested is that you prepare your own content, put it here in these applications, and they will refine it further, providing you some additional source of information that you can explore. Research Rabbit is a platform where you can get about the literature. You see, for the literature review process here, this application also provide you huge amount of clue to the research papers. It refines them, the list, and summarize it, suggest you what to take into account. And there are other applications like formula bot. Formula bot help you to create formula to, you can provide your data, you can provide some statistical measures, some formula, or even it can analyze and interpret something that you have already uploaded in the form of your data. So there are so many applications. You can you can go to YouTube and you can find hundreds of such kind of suggestion, and also there are 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes videos whereby every such application is suggested, how to use it, how to refine your research contents. But the problem is, when you use these applications blindly, what happens, you really miss on the important contents of your research work. Again, as there was one question by one participant, can flagged software detect that your contents contain the material from AI? Yes, very much so. And every day, our flag softwares are being improved in such a manner that they could find out the AI materials very quickly. And even this is not only the thesis checkup, but also in so many reputed conferences, so many research journals. Nowadays, they are looking for such software where every research paper could be filtered for the AI contents. And most often they are getting successful results also. That is why it is usually seen in various reputed conferences with various reputed research publications that papers are written on the ground of huge AI contents. Even you on your own can subscribe for Grammarly, although a small content of your write-up can be accessed free of cost on Grammarly. But if you pay a small amount of subscription to the software like Grammarly, they can regularly check every content that you write. Apart from suggesting you how to write a good content, they can provide you the filtered content which are picked up from the AI or which are AI assisted. That's why there are questions how to humanize it. There are so many applications which are also being sold to humanize the AI content. It is just like the tug of war that had started 20, 30 years back between the virus creators and antivirus software. So they are two which are acting against each other. The software creators are continuously on their toe to create such viruses that could not be detected by the strongest of the software, antivirus software. Similarly, today there is a tug of war between the applications, one that detects the AI content and another that helps to humanize the AI content. But ultimately, it will be the good element that will win. Like the antiviruses are now bygone days story. Today, the computers are free from antivirus softwares. There are inbuilt softwares which have no way to let in the viruses into your computer if it is a genuine software. Similarly, there will be a day when every write-up can be easily detected by anyone how much is AI content? So there was a question, good question. What is use of AI if it can't be used as per your will? You can't use it as per your will. You can only use it as a tool that could pave the way for a better research, that could pave a way for better study, better contents, larger data, and more accurate calculations, use of formulas, analysis, charts, visions, computer visions, which could provide you good contents, good charts, good tables. So this is all to enrich your contents. This is not to simplify the process so that you could prepare the content without doing your own hard work. So there was a good example of Notebook LM. Notebook LM that is free of cost is a wonderful tool for researcher. You can put any pro subscriber can go for more than 200 papers at a single go and can ask different type of questions. There is a facility of creating even video on the all the papers or some specific questions. There can also be the possibility of the question answer session while the video itself is going on. You can just ask question while video is already on. Similarly, there is one another beautiful application by the Google itself, that is Google Studio. Google Studio, the stream function of it can read everything on your screen and can guide you as per the question asked in the background of the screen. You can also now put a video clip, an audio clip in your research reports as per your data. Just provide the data, feed in the data, and it will produce a good example, a good video clip, a good audio clip. So every day is coming with a new wonder. You come across some new capabilities, rather increased capabilities in the field of AI. But the question is how to make a judicious mix of using a tool and using your own cognitive capability that could ultimately sharpen your research capability, because research capability is not going to be used only once or twice. For example, many students say that all those books or contents are useful only until you get your UG degree or PG degree. But while doing research, every capability that you develop in yourself as a research capability will always be used in publishing, in carrying on further researches, in writing your books, in writing your research papers, and so many other research activities like reviewing of the paper and others. So research, particularly in management research, social sciences research, it is very important to refine the process of research in such a manner that it could provide as accurate conclusion as it could possibly be. It will never be possible by the use of these AI applications in a huge amount. There should be as little use of AI that you could safeguard against the AI contents, similarity, and other such bad things in your research output, which is being found out very capably in these days by the use of advancing software and technology. So this was all from my side. Any question, if anybody wants to ask, please you can ask. It seems that everybody has decided not to speak anything, not to come up before the camera, and that is again the ridiculous things of the technological advancement. Technological advancement has given us an opportunity to study at such a time in the night, sitting from a remote place, people delivering the lecture from anywhere in the world. But see the difference between a real class and this online platform, where not even a single participant has uttered even a single sentence despite my repeated request. So if there is any question, please come before the camera and ask your question. Just let me stop the presentation.
Sir, there is one more question.
Just a
What
minute.
are the risks of over-relying on AI in management research methodologies?
Just a minute. Please repeat the question.
What are the risks of over-relying on AI in management research methodologies?
There are risks. It is full of risks. You see, the approach should be minimal use of AI. The use of AI as a tool only, just to help you to strengthen your process so that you could learn more, you can get a better result, you can make a more accurate analysis, better interpretation. You can just take help of it. But if you are becoming dependent on it, it is going to spoil you. You will not be able to get yourself published. Your thesis, you will not be able to defend your thesis at the time of Viva OC. So the policy should be using AI as less as it could be helpful, to the extent of making use of some tool that can make your process or enrich your process rather. Any other question?
No, sir, there are no more questions.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We are truly grateful to you for taking out time from your busy schedule to be with us today and to enlighten us with your knowledge. Your presence is an inspiration for all of us, and we are confident that your words will not only broaden our understanding but also encourage us to think in new directions and adopt innovative approaches in our teaching and research. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you.